Hello YouTube, it's your boy Blue Tricks Lord Summit. Now this is a real update video about how I'm working out. What I did was, I learned how, gain more muscle around my tricep and bicep area. My old neighbor Aaron, that used to live at Destiny's house. What happened was in actuality, I compressed all the fat and got rid with all of those tricks. I went from 201, 207, 197, and quite 6 at times. Me walking to the lake, back and forth from the freeway. Better treadmill, literally, while I started working, my blood muscles, my thighs, literally, and my upper armpits started getting stronger all around, so I call it Dwayne. What happened was, literally, all my research was correct. Last year I can barely do 16 on the treadmill, and I got all the way to 10. While feeling as light as a feather, literally could do push-ups and sit-ups way easier, but getting caught off by a girl with purple hair. Did you not get better in order for him just to cover one thing? What I do is I schooled you. If the 100 and, 600 sit-ups are out, then literally there's no reason for you to critique. That's what happened. Literally, everything I knew literally was forcing you to recognize. You know how I told you, literally, somebody sacrificed this for this? Once I did Alex's workouts, Michael's older brother, what they're telling you to do, literally, when you're non-reverse, literally, when you're doing normal composing like me, when I give you advice, is break down. Oh, this is such a good opportunity. Oh, I love my family. That means break down to be all up what I'm saying. Guess what? When bitches with purple hair start, sucking me up, literally, outside, literally, in real life, they all couldn't resist me because of the skateboarding. Literally made the comparison side by side. It was better, this was better, but guess what? The other one has stronger messages, especially since everybody in that went out the way to tell it. To a whole bunch of their bits to a point where I'm just a smooth 200. With muscle weighing more than fat. I also could be taller, literally I saw myself, literally getting taller. I sat down in the movie with Kris. The real reason why I use Michael's older brother, literally Alex, in majority of the videos. I've been using it for over 3 years, that nigga's over 37. I used to use a little twist like me, go, oh, Lily, I'm gonna play basketball, put ice in my cup like Big Mama. Lily, he stayed talking to Michael, giving him advice, drinking, orange grape soda like Big Mama. He said, don't even think about Big Mama. All I know about his story, Lily, was he was around Lily in Dragon Ball Z days. Of course, Lily, his conversation with Michael was, I only literally had one Dragon Ball Z game, it was called Bill's Fury. Then I get this Mandela, literally, Mirage, that he's naming all, the songs from NSYNC, and Michael literally jumped corners. I knew Michael, either cock blocked him from a girl or was watching Naruto vs. Gaara and said, I can't believe she's with you. Or, literally, he is the beginning of the feeling, literally, everything, literally, how I think, all the way to my plans, all the way to a troll under a bridge. Michael, I want you to literally, take a point for Starbucks, literally, and live life. Oh my god, Michael, it was too good, literally. How about this? So, literally, where it came, literally, why do I choose his side over Michael's every single time? Why is I the one, literally, with that Jason Jerry, literally, that switched to rhythm, literally, was able to fully perception like somebody regular Ed to a regular anime nerd, or for them to go fast. Like, hey man, chill, I'm just trying to use Kinemon, what you doing? Hey man, chill, I'm trying to use Kinemon, what you doing? I had to do something, because this is what happened. You guys were all the way out the whack, literally connected the moon, literally to the moon eye plan, literally in real life. Like Butter Kaguya, literally, with Bloods, literally doing all this shit. He was the one that was connected to, society. You're like, Miss Months, go play sports. But there is something worse than that, like, literally, where he came at was Kris after he told you everything, but the biggest twist was he was the fucking best because they grew up in Minnesota, and he's like, if you disagree with me, you disagree with our rap. So I'm like, him being able to do everything, including rap fast, and not make it a radio, what's the difference? So guess what ends up happening if this continues, or continuing? Like with Life's Complex with the fucking Life Championship with the girlfriend he had after he did Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, literally the fucking dance that I do. One thing that was definitely that he did, literally, was have that fine ass girl look like Alicia, not my Alicia, but let me explain to you. I figured out the thing behind white people and Boy Scouts about when they kill Eris Lily when he's younger. Because what ends up happening to Eris 9 times out of 10 is he thinks he's mature, but when a white person is reading a book, what ends up happening is he lands on a part of the book that's in the middle, that's right before the climax, which is connected to a girl and dating, which means that literally you got almost, to a part that was detrimental to a point where you could have upgraded in sports, but you fell back in the fairy tale right when it was about to get hard. Meaning that you lured me in with the juiciest part but didn't finish. So in other words, one of the greatest examples is literally when he was in scout camp, literally he ferociously got this guy off flow. Sounding just like fucking Seinfeld on Comedy Central, The Office. He was marking out shit after he spent extra time. And there was his own like, well, I don't feel like, filling in, minor requirements. And then he replies, so, when I don't X off a box, that means it's a whole requirement. And guess what that means? That means, ooh, you ferociously caught me off guard or flow, Lily. In reality, Lily, you were 1/5 off of a book. And this part is extremely long for this video. But what you did was you took 1/5 of the book and you manipulated me, which is connected to domestic violence. That means you have the potential to be on this, and that, but you're a rap fucking party with. This is why I con lesbian cops. You don't want to get into a gang. You don't want to get into factiles and drugs. And why I had higher influences and why, higher people like, politicians and lawyers literally want me to be something. When I was already a party kid, and you make it up in your mind, Mr. Punch has this imaginary bit in his mind, and he chooses to be a good person over partying. But guess what? The biggest revelation is that I was part of the Mexicans. You want to fight the Latina, it requires muscle. Anyway, we're getting to Alex, Michael's older brother, he just made back to scout camp. When he took white people out of their place and started reading, he owned white people. Because you and me were on the same boat and you switched up. Especially when I started using Sonny, Lily, he became the only common denominator and people denied it. So what happened, Lily, after they called out Lee, manipulating, 1/5, and the gang and reading, what ends up happening literally is Eris gets this fucking facade of cloud in his head after being the gay guy on Comedy Central. Literally clowning every girl in junior high. Literally D starts talking to a little Vietnamese, Asian Boy Scouts are riffing, and he's all like, I can slap Fee's butt. And Slee was the only literally fucking swim instructor literally at scout camp. She was hot. And D's are like, bruh, if you slap Fee's butt, literally, you get into so much trouble. And guess what ended up happening? Fee actually fucked him, literally, and put a curse on him that he was never gonna get a girl in high school. You see, Eris is wise, literally. He's actually a good kid to stop manipulating. That's why the majority of shit that he talks about goes hand in hand with what he's doing. So guess what happened? He literally, he took your lesson and flipped it, and now he's Lord Quinma. So let's get back to Alex, literally. I've been using him throughout all 28, 29, and especially 30, literally. He's the most popular guy in the nightclub. An undeniably handsome white dude that told Michael everything, literally. And when it comes to DBZ and playing sports, he's the one. He's the one I use as an example for everything, because that's the exact thing what got a group on. Literally, you try to hold me against my autism, I start playing sports first thing. What made Alex crazy and white, it's concrete, literally, is that he did, do the dance in front of him and say, I had that girl big T's, literally, because I got the six-pack. Literally, in Japanese, when Goku and Vegeta are doing things, literally, if fucking James, the fucking therapist, literally fucking puts you in the black room and say they were wrong after you do that knife with your mother. Because he like to call out, the reverse psychology. So that's what I was gonna say earlier in this video. Alex doing all that crazy shit, eating 1,000 Starbursts, literally fucking listening to good music online, literally playing NSYNC, Hey Juliet. When he fucks a little kid, literally in front of Michael, it becomes an excuse. It goes hand in hand with what he's doing. Do you know why? Because you're allowed the autistic kid to do nothing, allow somebody else to do everything. You put him up against the government, expect him to be sane. A lot of things happened this year. Monotonous things happened this year. Especially with Darcy. I couldn't get PG straight to you after Lily. She was weed that got stepped on. Lily, guess what she was? Lily sees a loophole and turned it to a fact. Because everything was real on paper, all the way to the fact that I was fabulous, Lily, to put what wasn't getting money. So what happens, Lily, when you're alive with Penguin when you're doing all this shit, and you see the Verizon wireless bill? What ended up happening was I called myself king because you didn't want to get straight. Lily, I got less debt than everybody else. And Darcy became powerful because you literally were in the beside it was back in the days where I was getting paid. And guess what? Daria abused her penguin drum. Lily called out Bloods, Lily, and their mentality between lawyers and Samurai Jack, and thus create a new generation. The funniest part about that, Lily, was I went to a little Renaissance fair yesterday, Lily, and then people were literally asking me how to be mature. Lily, then I woke up this morning after you wouldn't let me stop talking, Lily, saying, isn't it funny how they were all literally dressed up, literally in costumes, asking him how to be mature? What he was wearing was fucking colorful? In other words, Lily, you sat right, you didn't make sense all day, Lily, until a point when Darcy made sense. This is severely real for this video, but anything, else, damn out. It's such a sad fate for my generation. And when I'm talking about, ooh, the Vario this, oh, this, and that, a couple of thousand when I stopped trying too hard to fit into my 20s. All these people like Alexia and Karen that are still on hip-hop, not knowing that literally I had a rap battle league that forced me to surpass my limits, and they're still on pay shit with tongues, they end up being $1 trillion in debt. Literally, I'm talking about literally real rappers with real fucking labels. Trillions on top of trillions of dollars in debt, and they're still playing the game. But there's more to this video. You see, the reason why I have such a hard time is literally people like Eric, literally a lot of old people. Instead of literally stopping ahead in their early 20s like me, they spanked old women over and over again. Way more than 1,000. And I did that to one old lady, literally, when I was in San Francisco, and I was mad on top of a whole story. Literally, an Asian girl, literally saw me wearing orange and wanted me to do it, and actually reported to the police I was being picked on. Which is the understanding society. You don't go too much, you don't tell police, fuck off, I do the best minds, I don't do this, that, look, Armand. You tell them that you're trying to change, and it fucked me up. Because absolutely no gangster agrees with me. Anyway, Lily, there's a big part in this video, and Alex will be, later on. There's two more things I have to say. One about Darcy and another thing about Alex. But this primarily is why, Lily, I'm in a difficult situation because you sleep on what to forward what in terms of autism and what adults do. Lily, officially, this is a joke behind Adult Swim. It's not the piss at either. It's literally adults hide behind Deus Ex Machina. So I don't know about everybody, but literally, the typical adult that has style, what they do is like, they lie and they pull a James, they use James to back up a lie. And what ends up happening, literally, is they have, a short fuse that's 1-2 faster. That's based on a cartoon. Literally, they pass the Deus Ex Machina down, and it's been for duration. It's the secret of Brick House Bandit. The secret of Brick House Bandit, literally, is that somebody was going straight, and somebody went all the way around. Literally, it can never be straight, but can never think of it. So being behind Uncle Tommy and Brick House Bandit is that adults hide behind a Deus Ex Machina. So therefore, they can be no winner. But there's truth behind Kyle Lessons. First off, literally, he do certain programs that literally people get real shit through full disability. And he also thinks that it's bullshit that everything external society that's outside of autism is people connected sweet tarts. And that's why he was literally one of the most dangerous, because where it came down to it, literally when everybody had the same tools, with Slade chains, literally when David had to change, when my mom definitely changed. With all tools of meditation, he's the one that didn't start shit and never started shit. Literally called out common sense. That was after, all those causes that affect me, after this and that. Once he finally, got married, he chilled. I also saw things at landslide view, like, when somebody, from, another state literally goes to school dance, like, Michigan, Kentucky, that's not close for you. You're not going to have all the, the excuses like me and Leo. The point after point is going to be on point, and it's going to be defining. It's going to be multidimensional. That's what it means to, perform, for a state. That's what it means, perform for a sport. And this Dario thing is, so defining that literally it got down to me, Kris, you and Riley. We played Fight Night. What ended up happening was literally we talked about a half Kris Brown, a full, Kris Brown for a year. So what I did was I started, bopping and weeping, started saying, yo, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna do this and that. And then he started, playing the game around like an admin to ignore my statement. So what ends up happening is I catch on, I learned from the last lessons. What ends up happening, literally, is I end up having him on the ropes. Literally, so what happens is, I black out, and then he blacks out. Literally, then I get, oh my believe I'm finally gonna do it, I'm finally gonna put it on for our family. And then he fucking knocks me out. And then next time, literally, I get way better. Literally, I start back up in the corner, literally, and we start, matching each other's blows. And the reason he won is because he ignored my statement, but then I played the computer, and guess what happened when I played the same people? I got 2 TK. This video's long, but shorter than it needed to be. But the whole point is that, I'm being multiple shit in. And at this point, it's prominent. Todoroki was my revelation, because guess what happened? After I do pattern recognition from the arrow through, when they were old enough and they were comprehensible enough to literally get in the way of My Hero Academia where it comes to battle, but not actually the continuity, where they're picking the characters towards no one's alive at the moment I can cosplay as him, and guess what? It was the first black Todoroki cosplayer on paper. So you're older than him, you're doing this, and that. You got to grab all those bitches I can mention, where it came down to it, what happened? You eventually got called retarded and lonely. I needed to get over it. I needed to get the fact over that literally I was Zuko, literally that Master Zuko at the time. That I knew those niggas was hiding behind Avatar. And my main girl Labara was on the street. She looked just like Katara. But in reality, that was flame. That was complete flame. Literally, and you know why I recognized over time? They needed to stop, holding Aristar how smart he was. Because he made a flame on planet Earth. He chose a really cool character. And what I mean by that is that we need to pay attention more to the fact that when he wore that, he broke molds, versus how he was criticized. Now, it's really, really out there. But by truth, that's the meaning of this video.